What's up, guys? Back from Murph. Had an awesome time there. It was just absolutely amazing in so many ways. Was out there with West 3D. Had a really good time. Met a lot of really cool people. So today I've got something that's sent to me from Formbot. This is their Pro Kit. So the Formbot Pro Kit, this is a Trident 350. So I'm going to put it up here. We're going to open it up. I'm going to show you everything that's inside. We're going to go through all the details of everything that's in there. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, we're going to start the live stream build on this. So be there for that. It's Saturday Eastern Standard Time at 12 o'clock. Let's put it up here and see what it's got. Yeah. Woo! That'll break the back. Let's open it up. So this here is Formbot's website. I am going to put a link in the description for this. This kind of goes through the prices right now. The lowest base one is going to be $6.89. They got a couple coupons here that you can get, $10 off and $20 off. So this is where they ship from. They also do have a United States warehouse now, so it's kind of nice to be able to get it a lot quicker. So here's your three sizes. The thing with these, they're 250 by 250 by 250, and then you have the 300, but it's got the 250 height. And the same thing with the 350. So looking at this one, it looks like they do have the umbilical cable running. It looks like they got a wire cover there around it, and it goes down to the A drive. So you can change your size here, and if you want to drag in standard flow or high flow, you can change them here. These will typically ship different. These don't ship with your kit. These will ship separately. So we'll mention it right here about the Dragon, because if you're getting it from the United States, it ships from China, so it'll ship separately. Going through some of the stuff, it doesn't include 3D printed parts, obviously. Comes with a lot of nice upgrades like the tap, the filament runout sensor, some other things here, Nevermore filter. My favorite being the SB2209. That is very nice if you're running the stealth burner. Comes with the touch screen now, and greatly the Manta. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what's actually inside the box. All right, so we got a very big box here. This thing is super heavy. I actually kind of hurt my back lifting it up here. So let's open this thing up. It's usually packaged really well, so you got your styrofoam here on top. First thing we see is some panels. All right, so all the panels are in this here. You got your doors and your side, back, and all that stuff is in here. Your bottom panels here, and your back that's in black. So I'm gonna set this aside. Now down to the fun stuff. So we got some wiring here. Nice, we got Wagos in here. A lot of this wiring is labeled, which is nice. Got an end stop. These are little straps to hold your wiring in underneath. This is nice. They actually have the NeoPixels already soldered for us in here. So it's got your plug already on it for the SB000 board that plugs into the SB2209. Very handy. Saves a lot of soldering there. Here's our power wires for the motor. See, most of these are labeled, which is very cool. Got the label on it there. Another end stop, and it actually says Toucan end stop there for the X. This will be for your X end stop since it's going to be mounted to the tool head. Air filter. This is a Nevermore. It says air filter there. These are all your AC wiring. This is AC part. Please be very careful when hooking this stuff up. If you're watching this video and you do this, please be very careful that you hook these up properly. Double, triple, quadruple check your stuff. Make sure you don't have any loose wiring. If you do have to crimp something to change it, make sure you crimp it with the right type crimpers. You don't want to cut the wiring. I've seen some stuff that's very scary, so be very careful with this. Now we got our motor wires, Z motor wires, XY motor wires. Oh, this was the Nevermore. Okay, so I'm not sure what the other one was. It said air filter, but this looks like the Nevermore. Yeah, because you got the one that plugs into the Nevermore, and got your two crimps already on there to go into your board. Filament runout sensor here. Pretty cool. This is the first one of these I've seen, so you guys are seeing it with me. SSR to board, HE1. Okay, so there's your SSR wires to the board. Tell it to kick on. Filament sensor, tap, GPIO. So this, okay, yeah, it's the wiring for that. I almost thought this was the power cord for a minute because it's so thick, but this is the CAN wire. You got your part that plugs into the SB2209, and here we have our high and low wires, and our 24 volt and ground. PT1000 temp sensor. Heater tube, 70 watts, nice. We got a small Ethernet cable here. Okay, so it looks like we've got an SD card here. I'm not really sure, it doesn't have a brand name or anything on it. It just says 128 MB. So since it's a very small one, I usually use SanDisk SD cards for all my stuff. This would not be big enough for klipper, so it's probably just to flash your klipper on your MCU. Some zip ties. Okay, that's everything in that box, or in that bag. Okay, now we can dig into some more of the stuff here. These are very nice to hide your wires underneath. You put your VHB tape right here on the bottom, and this slides off. Put all your wires in there. You build this around in a square underneath your printer like that. Put all your wires through it. Bring them out where they need to go. Makes for very clean wiring. This was a very great to have these included. This is for your filter on the back. Your air intake to clean the air a little. So now I'm kind of confused because now we have this, which is an actual good 32 gigabyte SanDisk card. I'm not sure what that other one was, but now we do have a good one, which is nice. We have some wire cover here for our CAN wires to go around. Some PTFE tube. This right here, there's two different, it looks the same, but it's different. This says 4x3. This one says 4x2. What we're looking at is the internal diameter. Right here is 2 millimeters, and this one is 3. You're going to want to use this for your reverse Bowden, and this one right here will be used for part that you want that small, like in between the tool head. I'm not sure why we got this much. Typically, you just need a small piece, so I'm not sure there what the deal is. We got some lights here, at least one, anyways. Pretty cool. And we got some foam tape for the doors and around the seals and stuff. VHB. Now we have this other wire cover here. It kind of just unravels and you put your wire in it and then fold it back up. It's kind of like the other stuff that we just saw. A toothbrush in case you need to brush your teeth before you start the build. Only kidding. So we would actually cut this right here and throw this part away, and all we would need would be this part, and it's for a mod. It's a nozzle brush cleaner. So your nozzle will run over the top of this before you start a print to clean that nozzle off. Have it nice and clean before every print. Cool they include that actually. We got here our beautiful board. All right. You know, you see that rubber ducky. What we got some big Tree Tech stuff there. And looks like we've got a nice board here, guys. We got a very nice board. This is the big Tree Tech Manta MP8. But most likely, I think there's a CB1 in here as well. We're going to get down to that in a moment. In here, we got a couple stickers, a bunch of jumpers. We got our USB cable to connect to there to our Pi, and all of our connectors and stuff that we would need for this board. A lot of people have all the connectors already, but it's nice they include that for people that don't, because not everybody's like me and has a million of everything. We got an Ethernet hookup here, just straight through. These are the 6mm belts for XY. Very nice. This is a tap set here. It comes with the rail and your optical sensor. But one thing I think is pretty cool is they actually have, instead of having to print the rail, when you go to slide this rail off, you don't want to lose all the bearings. They included a piece for you already. It doesn't look like it's printed. It looks like an injected molded piece. So it's just a plastic rail basically that you can slide this carriage over here to this when you're mounting this one. So very cool. Saves from having to print that or losing your bearings. Power cord, nice and shiny. Very cool to include this. Yeah, it is not a printed part though. It has been injection molded. You can see the little spots right there. Very nice, very solid piece. A lot of us Voron users don't use these and filters here, but very cool. You got some carbon here. This piece right here is also an injection molded piece. And then we have in here. Note this PCB is used in an AC circuit. So they've got this right here. These pieces here have been 3D printed, but they've already got it mounted for you to go underneath your printer. Getting down to the fun stuff, guys. Very nice rails here. Looks like they're moving pretty good. I don't want to open these up yet. I'll open them up on stream when we get to that point and clean them and stuff. So we have our X rail here, which is an MGN 12. Then we have these three rails, which is for the Z, which is MGN 9. These are MGN 9 also, which are going to be an XY. They're a little bit longer than the other ones. The magnets, always need some magnets. SSR mount, very nice. They have the GE5C bearings here. I did not know those was included either. Four of those for your Z joints. We got all of our fans here. I'm not sure the brand on these or how well these work, but we have the three here. We have two for the electronics bay to keep our area underneath nice and cool. And we have the one for the exhaust that mounts on back here onto this. This one right here will be going to the stealth burner, so we'll have to cut it and do some modifications on it to get it in there. And then this part here has already got the plug on it to plug right into the SB 000s. Got a mount here for this. We can go ahead and screw that in there. I'm not even sure if I'm going to use this yet on this build, but that'll go right there. We got both of our sets of pulleys here. These are going to be the XY motors, and these are going to be the XY pulleys for up front. So these are pretty cool. It's different. It's a substitution for the M4 nuts. They're insulation columns. We've got a couple of these here for our CAN bus hookup. We run our wires through there and tighten them up. We've got a Z chain. Run our wires down through the Z. What we have in here, this is a big bag, so let's open it up and see what we actually have here. All right, so we got the M5 1mm spacers. These are going to be precision spacers. We got a bag of M3 T-nuts. We got the bag of M5 T-nuts. Lots of M3x8s. If you built any of these printers, you know the M3x8s are your best friend. M5x40s. M3x30. Small bag of M4x6 button heads. We've got some M3x6 flathead cap screws. M3x12 flathead cap screws. M3x16s sockets. M3x25 socket heads. M3x10 button head cap screws. M3x8 button head cap screws. We got some shim washers here, 0.5mm thickness. M3 hex nuts. M3x12 socket head cap screws. M3 hammerheads. These right here, I never enjoy putting these on. I got some tricks for them though, so we'll get to that. I'm not even sure what this is yet, but we'll get into that. M5x10 button head cap screw. M5x30 button head cap screw. 5x16 button head cap screws. M5 hex nuts. M3x40 socket head cap screws. M3x20 socket head cap screws. Two M3x6 socket heads. A cute little wrench they give you for the dragon hot end and a couple other things in there. M3 lock nuts. You got the little nylon to keep them from loosening up on you. Those will go for holding the bed. M3 heater inserts. M3x6 button head cap screws. M2x10 self tappers. And last but not least, the M3x50 socket head cap screws. And most of the things, if you notice on this, they will have an extra one. So we know that there's going to be 4 needed for this, for the stealth burner, but they have 5 in here. So a lot of the screws and bolts, they're going to have extra, more than what you need. So here we got our power supply. Looks like we got an LRS 224, so 24 volt. Does not want to come open on me. In here we're going to have our drivers. So we have 5 drivers in here, so we're going to need 3 for the Z. And then we're going to need the X and Y. And the extruder, we don't need one of these because it's going to be the SB2209. So we got everything here. Here we have our screen. So this is an HDMI screen, it looks like. I'm not really excited about that. I don't really like the big connection here. I like the ones with the ribbon cable. They do have the adapters here for it. Plugs in. It's just a very big hookup. It'll work. I believe they use the HDMI because the CB1 needs the HDMI. I don't think you can use a ribbon cable screen with that one. But that's okay. No problem at all. Just a little bit bigger there is all. Now we got our motors for the Z. So we got 3 motors here. They did protect them here, so which is very cool. They put a little tube over them. I'm going to leave this on here like this. These are for our 3 Z motors. All right, we got through that level, guys. Let's go to the next level. Nice. We got our heat bed here. Looks like a 650 watt, 110 volts. So we'll attach that to the aluminum build plate. We're going to look at that in a moment. So here we have our magnet and our PEI sheet. And this looks like it may be the good ones, the Graviflex. It looks thicker and it has that matte look there. It doesn't look like the other ones that were kind of shiny. I think these are the good magnets now. This side is a smooth. It's got a Voron logo there. Voron up here on the front. Very nice plate. Let's stick that back on there. We got the build plate here, and they show they've got a sticker on here that's been tested the flatness down to 0.1 millimeters. So we will attach this guy to there, magnet on the other side, just like that. All right, now we're down to another one. All right, we got some paperwork on the motors here. So we have our DIN rails. And with this is all of our aluminum extrusions. You can see they all look like they're in good shape. I won't take all these out right now, as you guys know what the extrusions are. But there's different sizes, and we're going to get them all out and set them up when it comes ready for the build. So we have the 2 fans here for the Nevermore. We got a hot end fan right here. We got our extruder motor here. Looks like this one's a Moons. It comes with the V6. We have the SSR. It looks like an Omron. And we have our 2 motors for the X and Y. These are both Moons 1.8s. Very good how they packaged all this. As you can see, even the motors here, where they did the cutout on the side a little bit so they don't move around. They've been packaged and put in here very nicely. So we will give them an A for that. And down here, if I can get it out, we have our extruder parts. So something cool with this is it has, instead of the needle bearings, it has the bearings here. MR, I forget what they are, something ZZ. And also This here doesn't take a set screw. These are actually a lot better. They don't have to have the set screw in there, so it actually makes it a perfect circle. When it's extruding, you don't want it to be big and then small like that, and it can make it extrude more or less. So these are very nice. I've actually put these on all my machines. So very cool they're adding that in here with it as well. We have all of our bearings here. These are the flange bearings. What do we got here? Another ducky, so we know what it is. I think this is our SB2209. Yep, we got our SB2209 in here. All the connections for it. And another ducky for the road. Here we have some feet. Feetsies. And here we have our power inlet. We got our power inlet filtered with a switch. And we have one more thing here, which is our CB1. It's a CB1 version 2.2, it says. I haven't messed with these much lately, so I'm not up with the CB1s. I put the CM4s in mine. So here's our board. So this will plug into our Manta board on these pins here and here. It also comes with the heat sink, which is nice. You stick this on the back of your heat sink here, and you got a very nice heat sink to keep it nice and cool. And a little antenna wire for the Wi-Fi. And that's it. That's the bottom of it. So here it is, guys. Everything that's in the Formbot Pro Trident kit is right here. I'm so excited to get into this build. I'm kind of a little bit upset because like when I bought my kits, they wasn't this sweet, man. This is nice. Like one of the first Formbot kits I got, the wiring, it didn't come with wire harness at all. It literally came with a roll of silicone wire. You had to make your own harness. Not only that, it was silicone. They have come a long way when they first came out with their kits. They've listened to the community and said, make this better, and this better, and they've done that without increasing their price, actually lowering it. So really great job, Formbot. Did great on this kit. Can't wait to build it. You guys tune in Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be building this. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's not going to get done in one stream, obviously. Tune into that for tomorrow and every other Saturday. I will be on here building this thing. Thank you, guys.